Well, happy morning. I am here at the breakfast stop waiting for Glenda to show up. If you can't tell, I am so tired. I'm really, really exhausted today. But Glenda has been at the fair for the last couple of weeks. She works the admission booth here in Tucson. I guess it would be the Pima County Fair. Anyways, so because she does that, then we don't meet for breakfast. And so it feels funny because it's like I haven't seen her in weeks. But I'm glad to see her today. I just wish I wasn't so tired. My life's just been busy. You guys know this. And so at the beginning of the month, first of all, has anybody else felt like this April has been the longest month ever? I feel like this last week or this week, like today's Tuesday, it feels like longest week ever. Last week was very long. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because in Tucson, we got like hotter weather and that's a thing. I don't know. But I just feel like it's so long. I don't know. Anyways, at the beginning of the month, I was doing 4 different weeks of styles of eating. And my week of eating was really good because I was very selective in what I ate. My second week, I think, was supposed to be fasting, and that was not happening. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. Not even a day, I don't think I fasted. But I did eat very light meals, except for that weekend. I ended up eating very heavy bar food crap, and it showed. And yeah. Then the week after I had Ben, which would have been, I think, last week. So last week was going to be my 10 to 4 to eat, or regular eat, I think. And I did, but not a lot. It wasn't that excessive. And I think I didn't eat a couple days or something. I don't remember. It wasn't something phenomenal. And then yesterday was Monday, so I was taking him to school, and he asked if he could hang out with his friend after school, and I was like, aren't you going with your dad? And he's like, no, I'm supposed to stay with you. And I'm like, oh, I had no information about this. So it's fine. You know, I'm always happy to have Ben, but this week I was supposed to fast. So now I'm like, I don't know what to do with this week. And funny enough is this week I feel like I could fast because I'm tired. But I think the thing that happens for people who do fast is if you have to provide food for other people, then it makes it even more difficult, because I don't enjoy cooking, honestly, but I do find it more difficult to not eat if I'm having to create a menu for Donnie and Ben. So it's like, it's hard to think like, oh, you know what would be good for them? Carne asada tacos. I'll make some fresh pico. Maybe we'll do some rice. I haven't made beans in a long time, but maybe I'll do that. And then all of a sudden I'm hungry because I'm thinking about these delicious foods that I'm going to try, or, you know, whatever. And it's just, it just like deflates or defeats the whole purpose of trying to eat specifically for that week. I do find if it's just me and Donnie, it's easier to fast because he's just satisfied with like a couple eggs at the end of the day, or he'll make his burger patties. You know, he's fine with very simple things. But then I get in my head and I feel bad because I'm like, poor thing. Like, I was home all day. I should just cook something. And then I think of something weird, like, ooh, we haven't had spaghetti in like 6 months. You know, something like that. It's crazy. Or we just end up going to On the Rocks. And that's... Speaking of On the Rocks, we went the other night and I got a yakisabi bowl. I think that's how you say it, yakisabi. yakisabi. So basically it's kind of like a ramen noodle bowl without the broth, and kind of a mixture of stir fry at the same time. And so that's what we had, or that's what I chose with grilled chicken. And it was the first time that I felt like this is not good. So I don't know, that was a bit disappointing. And then I just felt really crappy because by the end of that night, I was like, why did I even eat anything if it was just going to be crappy food anyways? So I find that that's what happens in my head as well. It's almost like I feel guilty for eating when the food is not great. And I'm not the only one, because the other day I forgot what Donnie ordered, and it wasn't from On the Rocks, it was from someplace else. And he was like, wow, this was not worth it. I just feel like I threw money away. And, you know, it's not like we're wealthy. It's not like we're like dirt poor. But at the same time, we're very frugal with money. And so we're not one to just be like spendy willy-nilly. And so I think because we treat ourselves maybe when we go out to eat, you feel like you wasted money when something comes and you're like, wow, this was not good. You know, I think it was Famous Sam's. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so now tomorrow is May. May's going to be okay, but it's crazy because I do the jams on Sundays. May 5th, which is this next Sunday, there's no jam. In fact, I think I'm going to go out of town and see my good friend Jasmine. And then the following Sunday is Mother's Day, and there's a jam, and then I have 2 more jams. So May, we're just trying to kind of skirt through, but June is going to be a heavy month of activity. I mean, heavy. I have a lot of things in my head that I really want to get accomplished, and so I want to somehow figure out how to shift things up a little bit when it comes to the music scene. Shake things up when it comes to the music scene. You know, music and art is always evolving, I feel like. So I don't know. That's pretty much been my whole focus the last couple of days. Being that it is the first of the month tomorrow, which is Wednesday, it's kind of weird because I feel like I'm going to wait this weekend to do all my first of the month activities. But I am happy that most everything that I wanted to accomplish in April was accomplished, and that's a huge feat, especially for people on dialysis, because we get so tired. I'm just so happy. Last week I got 2 weeks worth of laundry done, and now I have Ben for 2 weeks, so I'm going to have to do laundry probably this weekend. Maybe I'll start tomorrow. And that's, you know, laundry for me is difficult because I have to go up and down the steps and then also across the complex. So I usually try to start my day at like 4 in the morning so I can get everything done by the time I take him to school, or at least shortly thereafter, so that I'm not like out and about in the heat. And then I go to Davita on Friday. I have a collection, so I have to keep my bags of my drains and also my pea collection. And with the heat, I've been chugging down lots of water, man. It's just... What I really enjoy, though, is that my apartment definitely stays so much cooler than the corner apartment did. So I haven't turned on my AC, except for one night I did, because it reached 92 in Tucson. And even at night, because it was such a quick shift, we didn't... It was just hot. We could not sleep. And so I shut all the windows and I turned on the air. And that was the first day that we had, or the first night that we had air conditioning on. But the apartment stays really nice and cool till about 3 o'clock. And then if you can survive 3 to 4 in that apartment, and And again, yesterday I had the windows, or the windows open and the sliding glass door open, and it was a great day. It was beautiful. But once I went outside I had to go down to Hobbies to grab something. I was like, oh, it is hot outside. So I'm just thankful that I am in that apartment. I'm hoping that the summer months AC bill is not going to be too outrageous. So Davita calls me and they're like, could we switch your appointment to 12? Because my appointment's originally at 9, and I told her, no, I don't go out between 11 and 4, so I need you guys. And that's across town. So by the time I get there and get home, all that, it's just chaos in the heat. So I don't like to be out in it. So she was like, okay, what about 10? And I was like, fine, 10 is fine. I said, but I just can't take the heat anymore. And I was actually hired to do a videography job in June at a beautiful event that's outside, and I was like, no. I would hate to say yes, and then because my health, not be able to do the event, mostly because the heat just exhausts me anyways. Even as a child, I was always exhausted by the heat. We go camping, I had to take a nap at least for an hour or two. Apparently it's a condition that happens with some people. I just feel so tired in the heat and the sun. Direct sunlight is like my kryptonite. But I told them, I was like, I don't want to say yes, and then at the last minute be like, no, I can't do this. I said, plus that day will probably end up being like some scorching record day in Tucson, and I just can't do that. My body, if you're on dialysis, you'll notice that your body just doesn't fluctuate the same way anymore. It takes a long time for us to warm up, and even a longer time, I feel like, to cool down. And so, I think too, you can be triggered by like hot flashes, because typically, it's weird, somebody's calling. Typically that happens premenopause or menopause or after menopause, whatever you want to call it. Because your kidneys aren't functioning well, then that means that your lady time is probably being adjusted as well. So, there's nothing worse than a hot flash in the middle of like the heat of the summer in Tucson. So I don't know. Anyways, I guess that's about it for now. That catches you up for the month. I guess I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna go and have breakfast, take a nap when I get home, and then I'll see you soon. Okay.